Hi, Brad Stevens here, and welcome to Manila, Philippines. If you know anything about me, I'm all about virtual assistants and outsourcing. Been doing it for the last 10 years. We've had a chance to visit 20 facilities over the last 4 days. Visited Manila, Makati, Clark, and seeing all the latest that there is to offer with virtual assistants and outsourcing here. We're actually at a co-working location here just in the Manila area. We're doing our quarterly strategy session with two of our main team members, Third and J-Cell.
Hi, I'm J-Cell, and I'm Brad's virtual assistant, and this is how I start my day. Common tasks that a virtual assistant can help you include email management, project management, social media management, overseeing a team of freelancers, and even personal research, planning a travel, and the list goes on. I constantly seek improvement and personal growth, including becoming a certified project manager. In the Philippines, we have a culture of hard work and discipline, but we also strive for work-life balance. That's it! Talk to you in the next one. Bye!
Hi, Brad Stevens here. Hope you enjoyed those videos giving you behind the scenes of what it's been like growing Outsource Access and a day in the life of my very first virtual assistant to see what it's like in the day-to-day. So I'm going to jump in front of our screen here in just a second and going to go through in a lot of detail. And I promise you this video is worthwhile. If you're serious about doing this, you want to kind of watch this video. I go step by step in our process. For those of you that are just starting this, I address all the questions that typically come up. Those of you that are more experienced, it'll tell you how our model is different than probably something else that you've experienced. And to that point, I want to tell you something right up front of why we are different in a key element of how our model is structured relative to a lot that I saw out there, the niche that I wanted to fill in the marketplace. So what I realize is most small to medium businesses and entrepreneurs, they needed someone to plug into their organization. You know, you can do one-off projects with these platforms, but it's someone that can plug in, become a part of your team, and take on, you know, this administrative and operational and marketing and just this layers of stuff, things that, you know, aren't the best use of your time, and things that on the radar that you haven't been able to get to due to time and money constraints. Very, very affordable. You know, in our model, that VA is doing a lot of the work directly. And in some cases, they're doing 100% of the work, right? And we vet them, as you'll see, and I'll explain in detail, to be fast learners, good communicators, take feedback, and they absorb all that administrative and operational clutter, along with marketing, operations, financial, customer support needs. Every client is like a puzzle piece, and that's why we do our whole assessment process to make sure we nail exactly what your needs are. But the cool thing about our model is, you know, over the last decade is we've vetted people that are specialized in all kinds of other functions that may be outside the VA's core skill set, right? So when you're working with your VA, if you need something done outside of their core skill set, you know, you need a list data mined or a quick brochure done or a mobile app done or video editing or 3D renderings of videos, and the list goes on, right? We have over 200 of those that your VA will manage, so you have a single point of contact, right? So again, they're doing a lot of the work directly. If you're a client that, you know, you need somebody 40 hours a week doing nothing but, you know, photo editing, which we have, in that case, they're doing 100% of the work directly. But otherwise, it's kind of this hybrid model where they are doing work directly, but also project managing all those experts. And we have pre-vetted them and already have them. You don't have to find them, right? So they're absorbing all that administrative and operational clutter, but then managing specialized resources that you'll see and I'll describe here in detail coming up. So enjoy the rest of the video.
So how do you get started? Okay, how do you get started with Outsource Access and to begin with a virtual assistant? So we have what we call our proven systematic process called the Virtual Assistant Blueprint, all right? So you can go to outsourceaccess.com/process. I'm going to quickly walk you through what the steps are. We show you exactly step-by-step what we do to secure virtual assistants. And this is what we're trying to address, right? Why has it failed or never started? I've taken all the failure points I've experienced. Why hasn't it worked for other companies? What have I experienced and why it failed and didn't work and how they're structured? And because this is what happens, right? A lot of people want all this help. They're overwhelmed, right? In whether it's an entrepreneur or a startup or a larger business or staff, they feel this way. And they end up being in this place a lot of times when they've tried this whole outsourcing virtual assistant process. Well, I learned from all that and create a system to address those failure points. So it starts off with a client assessment and phone call. Right? And I'll talk about this is the beginning process. As soon as you engage in our program, you get email a link with all the directions and an introduction directly to our director of customer success. You fill out a brief assessment form for us, and then you're gonna have a phone call with our director of service delivery. And Third is gonna be doing that with you, and we're gonna go through that and get full clarity on exactly what your requirements are. And we make it easy. It's a set of check boxes that you fill out on things that we know that a VA can provide for you. And if you've got anything documented or written up thus far, you can share that with us as well. Then we're gonna go over and make sure we have full clarity on what you need from a virtual assistant and potentially from additional specialized skills, okay? And then we create a client profile. All right, so I had to block this out for privacy, but I want to show you a real example. We create a document where we go and take your feedback and we identify what are your high, medium, and low priority needs across marketing, operations, administrative. What are your requirements that you're looking for? Okay. Then we create a whole training program for your VA. Now, they're already trained. We bring them to the table, but if there's certain things that you have that they need to be trained on, we create a whole matrix for that. What are the most critical projects? Okay. When you start working with a VA, we want to get a full understanding of what all your needs are, but we can't do it all at once. So we want to start with what are the key things that are going to have the highest impact for you that we can take on. And so we focus on those, particularly in the first 30 days. Right? And then what are the essential tools training framework? All right, this is the last part of it where what are the tools you use? Do you use Google Docs? Do you use Salesforce? Do you use Infusionsoft? Do you use QuickBooks? What are the tools that you use so we can make sure that we are clear and have knowledge of those and have someone trained on it? Okay, so just a couple of small examples we share in best practices: screencasting. So probably some of you have done screen sharing, like with Skype, or done a Zoom call, and you can share the screen. Right, this is a tool. We have a couple we recommend, but you click on it, it allows you to record your screen, your voice, and your mouse. Okay, so if you want to get feedback on something or show how to build a dashboard in your CRM that you want a VA to do for you, you click, you record it, record your voice, your mouse, puts a little yellow circle around your mouse. Then you hit save, it uploads it real quick and generates a video. Then all you do is send that link over and they can watch exactly what you're requiring. Amazing tool that we use all the time, and it takes all of that getting stuff out of your brain to a VA very, very simple and easy versus having to type up a bunch of stuff, right? And another perfect example of a best practice is password sharing. How do I give a VA access to my LinkedIn account or to my website or social media or other tools? Dashlane is a tool we'll talk about as part of your training that you can, it'll save your passwords and it allows you to click and share access without ever giving your username and password away. Right? So these are just a couple of the examples we found that are tips and tricks to the trade that make it easy and efficient of working with a VA. All right. And then we have a whole HR recruitment strategy. So while you're doing your kind of training and so forth, and we've taken your requirements, all right, our team is constantly going through applicants, hundreds of applicants that are going to meet our criteria, right? So we have a whole HR recruitment team. We use all of our branding and strategy around that to recruit the best talent. We even have a publication that we've released called the Virtual Success Magazine, branded by Outsource Access. And you can actually see Jay Sell on the cover here, where we're showing lives and profiles of people that are serving clients with our business and how much it's changing their world as well, right? So we have a whole system to recruit and bring in great talent. And I want to show you again exactly a screenshot so I can show you, right behind the scenes. I had to block this out for privacy purposes. But this is us going through all of our candidates, right? All of our candidates in our organization, the whole process that we put everybody through the protocol to make sure they're meeting our criteria when we do the recruitment, okay? Because we have digital testing and screening. So as we're putting people out there and recruiting, whether it's through Facebook ads or whether it's through LinkedIn or whether it's through other job boards and things that we promote, we have them take a comprehensive competency assessment on 15 different dimensions, right? IQ and emotional intelligence testing, English, obviously testing their grammar and speaking. English is a second language there, but we want to make sure that they hit our requirements. Typing speed and competency there, and even personality profiling, right? And that's one of the questions we ask you as well during our client assessment is, what does your personality profile kind of look like to make sure we match somebody up? And we do the same thing with our VAs and have a full output from it, all right? And then we give them test tasks with vague instruction, okay? To make sure that they can ask questions and do some deductive reasoning, all right, on test task examples we give them, because we can now determine who's going to be a fit or not as we go. Now, we give you ways to explain what you want a VA to do, but we want them to be able to take, instruction from you and make some good deductive reasoning and ask good questions. Then we do one-on-one interviews with all of our VAs to make sure that they meet our criteria, meet them in person, right, and they interview with multiple people of our staff and team, okay? It's all about setting a high bar. That's what I found, and just probably in your own company, and even when you were hired before, and we find we actually do a better job than some companies in the U.S. when we show them our process. They actually want to take some of these processes and add it to their hiring, because it's all about setting a high bar to get talent, people that really are going to be a good fit. All right. Now, presenting candidates to you. So within 7 to 10 business days of us getting started this process and you filling that assessment out, again, we're constantly looking for people that are going to meet a fit, and we put together an entire VA profile. Okay, and this includes a document that has links to it on all the stuff that we talked about, right? You literally, in this document, you're going to be able to see their assessment, their performance, the test task examples, graphic design tests, and so forth, personality, email handling. You're going to see examples of everything there, so you get a full idea. They're going to even do a video. You're going to be able to see, click and see a video of that person talking and communicating and sharing why they think that they are a fit. And then one of our team members, on top of all of that, to make it easier for you, is going to do a screencast like I just talked about and going to walk you through this whole document. Okay, so we're trying to make this as turnkey as possible for you, all right? And we get it to you within 7 to 10 business days usually, and sometimes even less than that we'll get a candidate. Then you're going to have a Zoom interview, right? And if you're on Zoom, we can arrange another option, but it's basically be able to do a video interview after you've reviewed that assessment to get a feel and make sure that there's good chemistry there that we'll arrange with you and your VA candidate. Right? So once we nail that down and find someone that we think is going to be a good fit for you, then the next step is our 30-day onboarding plan. All right? So once we determine somebody's a fit, you give us the green light, then we formalize, move ahead, and this is a formalized process that we go through, determine, right, what are those high-value tasks that we need to get knocked out first, right, getting you kind of comfortable working with your VA. That first 30 days is about trying to get as much done as possible, but also helping you develop the chemistry and how to work with this resource, and we're there coaching you the whole way. So you're going to get on the phone with one of our project managers. They're going to walk through this and with your VA and make sure we are dialed in. Okay, the other thing we do, okay, and I know this looks like a lot of detail. You don't have to interface with all of this. I just want to show you behind the scenes kind of how our process works. But this is the method that we're following on our end to make sure that you are dialed in. We create a virtual assistant playbook. Okay, one of the biggest things companies don't have is in most individuals is they don't document processes, right? They have institutional knowledge in their head, or their staff do, and they don't have it documented. From day one, we are going to document everything that your VA is doing for you so that we have a playbook. And this is literally what our playbook is. And we have links to the screencast recordings, any kind of written processes, so that we have everything documented for 2 reasons. One, okay, is we're hiring VAs long term, so we expect them to be with you long term. However, if life events do happen, and somebody they had to leave for some reason, we've got everything documented so we can step in and provide a replacement VA very quickly. Secondly, okay, if you decide for some reason it's not a fit, we want you to walk away with something of value with all of your processes documented, okay? So this literally has everything outlined. And just so you know, our compensation structure with our VAs is highly oriented towards benefiting you. So we have a base, and we offer benefits, right? So we actually pay benefits to our VAs after 90 days, an allowance for it, for health insurance and their equivalent kind of retirement as well. And then we do bonuses. We do bonuses on a lot of different dimensions, but one of the key things is client satisfaction. We send you a survey every month. We want to know how your VA is performing across multiple dimensions. And then we bonus them on how many new ideas they bring to the table, right? To you. We want to be constantly bringing new ideas to the table, be forward thinking to help you grow your business, not just twiddling our thumbs waiting for you to send something, okay? We want to be proactive versus reactive and a part of your growth strategy. Just like I've experienced, I will never not have VAs as a part of my growth strategy. It's just part of what I do. And we want to be a part of yours long term. Again, it's all about redefining your scalability. right? As hopefully you're starting to get a feel for what that looks like here, all right? And as I shared before, we do constant ongoing training and development with all of the meetings and trainings and conferences. And then we're constantly developing videos and trainings for our VAs that we put them through. If we learn a new tool and a new trick about how to do something, then we immediately train our VAs and bring that to you and say, hey, we've learned this new tool, new resource. Can we do this for you, right? So we're constantly bringing new things to the table to be proactive. And as I shared in summary, it's all about a company culture that's designed for meaning, performance, right? Performing for you, development, developing them as individuals, and appreciation. Right? If we get those fundamentals right, and this is kind of some snapshots of the things I share with you from our trainings to our team outings and getaways and socials, and it just keeps people engaged, and it drives a person that's having a great experience and going to deliver a great experience for you, and drives retention as well, long term.
Hey guys, Third here. So just want to quickly introduce myself. I am the Director of Service Delivery here at Outsource Access, and hopefully that everything that Brad has been explaining had been helpful in terms of finding this match. So essentially, I just want to explain to you our pricing scheme. So our upfront fee is a $495 upfront fee. It is a one-time cost and fully refundable. Essentially, this is the one that we will be charging you in order for us to do the initial assessment, do the discovery calls, do the initial matching until you find the right virtual assistant for you. So if this type of relationship, if you think that a virtual assistant would not be a good fit, then this fee is totally refundable. Now for the second part, what we call as the monthly fee. For the monthly fee, it is a monthly recurring fee. So it's actually $17.95. That's $1,795. That is for a full-time person working 40 hours a week, 160 hours per month. So this is for our basic VA, and anything that goes beyond that, as explained by Brad, anything which requires a higher type of skill set like accounting, architecture, and seasoned VAs, they would be higher than the $17.95 price range. This would be further explained during our sales calls and discovery calls as well. So hopefully this has been helpful, and we're looking forward to start working with you.
And I want to run through sort of what are the top frequently asked questions that I get, just to kind of round out here as you've seen everything. Will I need full-time? Is there enough to do? All right, this is one of the big questions, is I don't need full-time, right? That's all that we offer. How does that work? Well, this is what I found for a couple of reasons. First of all, when we try to do partial, it wasn't a fit, because in order to attract the best talent in the industry, we want to attract people that want to make a career path of this to be a full-time virtual assistant. And people that do it part-time or fractionally have full-time jobs, or they're trying to serve a bunch of clients at once, and we find that a lot of times it's just you get a compromised experience. So we only do full-time for delivering the right kind of talent. And as far as stuff for you, right? So they're available to you immediately for 40 hours a week, right? You may not immediately have 40 hours of stuff they're going to do right out of the gates. But we find it happens really quickly. And anytime they're not doing direct tasks for you, they are constantly building and training to continue to support you. Right? But what we typically find in that 30-day time frame is that first initial weekly set of hours for the first 30 days, it's you getting familiar with them, kind of learning your processes, getting some things documented and so forth, and you find that it snowballs. Right? And then you get to that 40-hour-a-week mark. Everybody epically underestimates how much time things take. And once they start seeing the things we bring to the table and what their capabilities are, they step into 40 hours and then frankly start adding additional VAs, after that. So happy to answer more about that, but that's kind of the model of what we focus on with full-time to retain the right kind of talent. And time zones, people have questions about time zones. So the Philippines is exactly 12 hours off from the US, right? And it varies depending on other countries, depending on where you are that we would work with. Two things, if you want them to work your local hours, we can. We absolutely can recruit for that and find talent that can support you in your local hours. What we find though is a lot of the work that's being done by VA, especially using that screencasting tool where you can record videos and send them over, you don't have to be in the same time zone. Right? And a lot of the work they can do while you're sleeping and vice versa. It kind of lets you run a 24/7. And I'm telling you, there's nothing better feeling. We always hear this from our clients. You wake up in the morning and you just see in your inbox completed tasks, things being done, your email being sorted. Right? So we can work both paths, but they're both available. That's kind of a little topic, or speaking to that point. Security, as we talked about as well. Dashlane is a huge thing that we use for sharing passwords, making sure that you're not sharing your actual usernames. Now, we are vetting people, making sure that they meet certain criteria and so forth. But we always want to use those extra layers of precaution just because you never know what can be intercepted. So using security for Dashlane for sharing usernames and passwords. We like them working on your platform. You create an email address for them so they can operate in such a controlled environment. Contract length, like I said, all we ask for is 90 days out of the gates, and then it goes month to month. We may change that longer term for people that are looking to bring on a ton of folks. If we're actually working with someone right now that's bringing on quite a few, just because of the time and effort we invest on our end. But really, 90 days, then we go month to month. Okay, so let us deliver with a 30-day notice. Industry specific, right? We work with companies in all industries, right? All of them have the same challenges and issues. It's just a variance of color and type. And our people train up really quick to learn how to address what those challenges and things are, okay? And specific to what your needs. Every company is kind of unique to them, and we train up, we hire for people that learn how to understand things quickly. We do have some specific in like commercial real estate. We have a whole division that supports that do things like lease audits and things that they need, 3D renderings, but we can serve any kind of industry, but we do have a couple of specific ones as well. Getting things out of my head, right? How do I get this stuff out of my head to a VA? Well, as you've seen, right, we have a process to extract that out and how to use tools like screencasting and so forth to get things out of your head and to get them documented. And I promise we've done it over and over again. You see any of the testimonials and things on our website, we have a very good process we thought through on it, all right? What are work conditions, location, internet? All right, so our model, again, something unique that we do. We actually base ourselves in the southern part of the Philippines. Again, when I visited, I wanted to go to a slightly less dense area because, I saw some places where people had 3-hour commutes back and forth to work. It was crazy, super dense, quality of life was down. So we kind of have a hybrid model. So we let them work from home, right, as long as we check and secure its internet speed and so forth. But then we also finalize office space as well, so they can actually come into office and have an opportunity to do hybrid. If internet does go down or there's an issue, we actually give them allowance to go to co-working locations as well as our office location. So you'll find that this offers a very good benefit from a blend of flexibility, and we make sure that people are capable and are good to work in that environment. So it's kind of a hybrid model that we have that's worked extremely well. And what countries do you service? As you've seen, we have a lot of people in the United States, obviously, but we got Canada, we got Europe, we got Australia. We're talking with folks right now as well in South America, in Africa. So, as long as English speaking, right, and that's the main thing in the Philippines right now, English. We have some that have some other languages, but English is the primary language. If you do have a specific need, reach out to us. We can typically source somebody that may have an additional language, but that's the primary language that we operate in. All right? So to close with you really quick, I just want to show you this graphic. This is done by a guy named John Saddington from the sources that we found. And it's the emotional journey of creating anything great, right? And it starts off, this is the best thing ever, right? This will be fun. This is harder than I thought. This is going to be a lot of work. This sucks. I have no idea what I'm doing. The dark swamp of despair, right? And then you start emerging out of it. Hey, wow, this is one of the things I'm most proud of. And any of you that have gone through personally or business otherwise, especially entrepreneurs, you know kind of what this is. And what I like to see, and what I've seen this in my life since I've engaged this, is that we can be that bridge to help avoid that swamp of despair with low cost, on-demand, high-quality resources that can support you and get you to that place faster and quicker with what we bring to the table. We look forward to the opportunity to redefine your scalability. I This is going to be my life passion going forward. The impact I've seen it have on myself, businesses and clients around us of all dimensions has been tremendous. And then the impact we have on the lives of others, right? And even rolls down, as we talked about, with the Virtual Assistants Give Back program we have even beyond that. So we would love the opportunity to work with you. Please check out our website, look for more to see ways you can contact, you chat with us as well if you have any more questions. But hopefully we'll be working together soon. Take care.